Hello, Andrei.
Can you hear me?
Yes, hi there, Andrei. I can hear you now. It's me, John, the head of trading at AudaCity Capital. How are you?
I'm good. How about you? Should I start the webcam?
Basically, just do the share screen, so we can see you, of course.
Okay, 1 second.
No worries.
Sorry for my haircut. I look like a caveman, but I hope
No
you
worries.
understand.
It's good to finally see you face to face. That's good. I mean, for the camera, of course. Okay, so I'm glad to be joined by you today for this opportunity to discuss your performance as a trader with us at AudaCity Capital on the Funded Trader program. Of course, you're one of our top performing traders. Right now, you've reached stage 4, I believe. You're managing $80,000 trading book. You hit your 10% today on the $40,000 trading book. So we've doubled you up and paid you on the same day. Is that correct?
No, I haven't been paid yet, but the account has been doubled. But I was waiting for the interview to finish so I can start trading again.
Okay, I received word from risk management that you were paid by bank transfer. So I believe that's why it may just take a little while to hit your account, but it has been done. Okay, perfect. So let's start off by basically telling us, how did you get into the world of trading? What sort of got you into the market in the first place?
Oh, wow. I think I've had this interview like back in 2017 with one of you from AudaCity. I don't know, maybe. But how I got into trading, basically, I was looking to make some side money when I was like a student.
Okay.
And one of my sister's friends, he's a manager, a portfolio manager.
Yep.
And he's also my mentor. So I learned a lot from him, a lot of forex trading, and I started educating myself, like going on babypips.com, searching for all kind of strategies. It was like, I think I started back in 2014, 2013, something like that. I started with some demo accounts, then I started on a live account, highly leveraged, very big mistake.
It's okay, it happens, yeah.
I think I've burned like $7,000 in a few weeks or something like that, like all my savings and everything.
That's a lot better than others out there, so no worries.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my God, man, what did I do? You know, it's just like so stupid, no money management, no nothing. And then, of course, I asked my friend to kind of teach me. He gave me like some tips, like how to manage the risk, entries and all that. But it was a tough journey, so to say. It's been like, I don't know, it's like been forever since I've been doing this. But I've started taking it more seriously, like in 2017.
Yep.
Basically, I started with $1,000 account. I've managed to bring it back like to 2,000, something like that. I withdrew the money back then because I needed some money. And then I found about you guys. I think it was by the end of 2017.
Yes.
I was like, okay, this looks like a good opportunity. I was starting to have some customers, trading for them, like for some of my friends. And it was just, you know, making some side money basically.
Of course,
but now, like, I'm doing this almost full time. I'm also having a company of my own, so
that's good. Congratulations.
I work in the real estate business. So my plan is to become a real estate developer in the upcoming years. So this is.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. But this is like through forex trading is like so much better. You have the possibility to work remotely. You're not stressed that you don't have an office or you have to run at meetings or I don't know. Basically, but you know, with this it has been put a lot of work into the logic of making this algorithm that I'm
Yep.
using right now. Um, it's it's like years in the making. I have some guys who help me with programming and everything, which is quite great. I'm really happy about it.
That's really good. One of the questions I would like to ask you now, Bob, a lot of guys, traders I've interviewed going onto the Funded Trader program, their attitude and their mentality towards our risk parameters, our trading parameters, exposure, etc., is a little bit negative. Now, based on your performance for the time you've been on the Funded Trader program and still continuing to be, how would you say you felt under our risk parameters and trading parameters, trading the company account, reaching this stage today to $80,000? How would you say, what would you say your attitude is towards this?
I think, well, basically what I think is that capital protection is of utmost importance. I think that's the first lesson everyone needs to learn. And you have to, you need to have the right mindset for it. I'm not allowing a bigger drawdown than indicated. So I think staying in those parameters is of paramount importance, to be honest.
Did you feel like, just to ask, did you feel like you were uncomfortable with the parameters, like it might restrict you or hold you back, or did you see it as a challenge, an opportunity to prove yourself and go to the next stages?
Basically, to be honest, it's a challenge because in my former accounts, I had drawdowns up to 40%, which is quite a lot. If you ask me, it's like too much. And given these parameters, I've sharpened my skills, which is quite great because, you know, learn a proper risk management. I'm also learning now about some Elliott waves theory to kind of diversify my portfolio.
Yes.
So basically work like a hedge fund.
Cool.
I'm trying to get into stocks and all that, option trading and all that kind of stuff. So I think this shouldn't be like, these restrictions are very good because you're protecting capital and also protecting your investors.
Exactly. So you agree that risk management is a priority when it comes to trading and is the key to success in the long term?
Yes. You can't, I mean, honestly, I don't think you can do anything without it. It's the best thing that you can do, like, really. This is the first lesson that you have to learn. Protection of capital. That's it. Nothing else.
That's very good to hear, and I'm glad we both agree on that. And what I'd like to ask you is, now I've seen, obviously, as well as risk management, your trading performance. Now, what we've noticed is you've taken some trades of, you know, obviously you've had some huge losses. You've also had some huge gains. So what I'd like to know is, how did you feel like on your down days when you were losing those big amounts of money? And how did you feel on your good days when you were recovering your losses and going back into profit? So emotionally, how were you dealing with that kind of trading performance?
I think emotions are playing a big part in trading. When I started trading, I was like very emotional. I was like doing revenge trading and all that, all those types of mistakes that you shouldn't do. But to be honest, if I'm winning or losing, I have the same attitude. I'm not trying to get overconfident or getting too much down or bring myself down too much. I was like, okay, I've made a mistake. Clearly, what can I do better to fix it? So obviously, I have to pick it up. Doesn't matter if you make mistakes, it's quite normal. But as long as you're in the parameters, I think that's the key to success.
That's good to hear. And regardless of obviously your trading strategy, I can see you're a hybrid trader. You trade, you know, the cross pairs, the major currency pairs, and you sort of, you know, put pending orders. You trade manually. You sort of diversify your portfolio, which is very good. Would you say psychology is the key to your trading in the long run, in order to basically handle those days when you're down losing or when you're making money, and to keep moving forward regardless of the outcome, whether you're making money or not? Would you say psychology is the main thing in the process, or just the strategy itself being very powerful?
Yeah, I think psychology has a lot of, it has its big role in it, you know, because, you know, there are days, like, for example, these 2 months I've been on a roll, and I'm, you're happy about it, right? Because 20% performance in a few months, it's quite great, you know?
Of course.
But then you have to consider that I think it was March. I think I was down like 9% or something like that. Take a step back, analyze what you did in March. What was the mistake? And then you have to realize that you're also human. You can make mistakes, of course.
Of course, yes.
And you have to acknowledge that trading is not gambling. It's just favoring the odds. No, putting the odds in your favor, sorry.
Absolutely, yes.
And if you have like this, losing attitude at some point, you might actually, underperform rather than perform. So I think you have to be very, very mentally stable. Mm-hmm. I used to train MMA before this pandemic, so it's a good way to blow off some steam.
Of course, yes.
So this is what keeps me going, and now my son will be born in July, so I feel more, more confident, much better, because I have something to work for, and that's a great feeling.
Absolutely great. I'm glad to hear that. What I'd also like to ask you is, so just to confirm, regardless of the strategy, because a lot of people out there, a lot of traders who go onto any kind of program, they always believe that it's the trading strategy itself that's the key to success, and they try to find this holy grail, which we both know doesn't exist. So the main thing, in order to stay long in this game and keep pushing forward and become profitable in the long run, consistently profitable, is psychology, discipline, and obviously being able to manage money. Is that correct?
Yes, I totally agree. 100%. 100%. You need these three things before anything else. I mean, without this, you are doomed to fail, to be honest. I've been there. I failed many times. And,
Did you feel like quitting?
Yeah, and you just keep going, no matter how many times you fail, and that's how you get like mentally tough. You know how to handle the emotions. If back in the days I was using like a 1 to 500 leveraged account.
That is right, back in the day.
Yeah. That was like
detrimental.
Yeah, I was like, well, what's the point? I'm gambling. And then you get like this weird psychological thing. You get addicted to losing, which is very, very bad. And that's when I started like reading more about it, like reading forums, asking traders like how do they manage the stress. It's very weird because when you have positions and you don't sleep at night, like what's the point? You need to sleep, you need to be away from the computer sometimes.
Of course, yes.
And I think, yes, you're right. These are the three most important things that people need to have.
I'm glad you validated that. And something else I'd like to ask you, just in brief, without giving too much away, how would you say you approach the markets personally? So do you have like some sort of just a strategy, or do you have like an approach where you wake up at a certain time, you maybe look at the economic calendar, or you just do your analysis over the weekend and you plan your trades for the week? How would you say you approach the markets?
Basically, I measure liquidity and inflation. I think these are very, very important. I'm using some, let's say, forecasting tools. This I learned from a guy called Robert, an Irish guy, very, very nice guy. He's also a hedge fund manager. And I've just met him on TradingView. I enrolled into his course. And that's where I learned that you need to kind of align everything, you know. I'm using GDP and ISM to forecast inflation and liquidity and all that type of stuff. And I think you need to do like this analysis once in a while. You need to take a look at numbers, and I'm focusing on seasonality as well. So, for example,
Yep.
this month it's dollar month, to be honest. We can already see that the dollar is gaining against certain currencies, but not, I don't know, for example, Australian dollar, it puzzles me a bit. But
No, I totally understand. And would you say about the current market conditions on the back of this coronavirus, the pandemic, has sort of, how can I say, make it a bit easier for you to make this kind of profits, to generate the 10% return? Would you say the market conditions made it easier for you, or would you say regardless of the market conditions right now, trading and making 10% would still have been the same?
well, I don't know if let's call it, I don't know about this pandemic, but I'll be honest. A trader's best friend is volatility. So when the market is volatile, it works perfectly. If we're range trading, it's a graveyard. So
Absolutely, yes.
If you go back to, I think it was 2018, 17, I can't remember exactly, when euro dollar was stuck in a 492 peak range. And that was like insane, you know, just what is the
almost 2 years it was stuck like that. Yeah, 2017 and 18 more or less.
Yeah, so basically, like, if you don't have any trend, what do you do then? You have to take a step back, and I think that's when I paused. I think I paused with you for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on hold because it's like there's nothing to do. I have to be patient. I need to wait for the markets to recover. I think patience is also a key factor into trading.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, you know, we make mistakes like getting too impatient. But,
No, patience is a virtue. Absolutely.
yeah, it is. The man who said that was a genius.
Perfect. And I'd like to also ask you, I mean, how do you feel that trading, I mean, do you feel that trading made you a better person in a way, just generally in life, or it didn't change you as a person, that you're still the same character you were before trading the markets?
I don't know. I don't see any big changes maybe in my lifestyle. I see some changes, obviously, because now I'm earning more. But besides that, let's say I'm still the humble guy, you know.
Always be humble.
I don't like these flashy things, and I just mind my own business like I used to.
Likewise. Likewise, that's good. And how do you feel the company has helped you or supported you in a way through the Funded Trader program to be able to reach this level right now of $80,000? I mean, what's your experience been so far with the company? Like, you know, when you got paid, being doubled, whenever you needed assistance, getting in touch with us, hearing back from us, you know, updating you in regards to your positions, whether they could be held or have to be closed. What's your experience been like personally with the company, in all honesty?
I think that's well, my experience so far has been really, really great. I've had a pleasant experience. Lucy was always replying whenever I needed information, or the guys from your office. I don't know. I don't have anything to say. Maybe, you know, of course, you know, before I didn't close any positions before like big events like central banks announcements and stuff like that. But now with this, it kind of helped me because, okay, you know, you have to get out of position sometimes, but sometimes it's not that good, you know, but it helps. It helps. And also over weekend positions, that's a great thing also.
Yes.
Not holding over weekend positions because before I was holding them because why not? You know, I was just if I was targeting like 150 pips or something like that, then
Yes.
it didn't matter if it went a bit.
Okay. That's good. Fair enough.
But I'm using now this. Sometimes I don't even trade on Fridays on my personal account. So I think that's
Fair enough. That's I can live with that. That's actually quite decent. Thank you very much. Okay, and last but not least, what advice would you personally give to someone who's applying to join the Funded Trader program or has actually been approved by ourselves? What advice would you give this person coming onto the program, starting from obviously the stage one, working the way up? Would you advise this person, like, you know, psychologically, or the strategy has to be good? I mean, how would you personally advise that person to be successful on the Funded Trader program with AudaCity Capital?
My piece of advice would be, I think you should always think about capital. Think about it as your baby. Because that baby can grow very, very big in short periods of time, if you would like that. If you're really good at placing trades. For me, it took some time, but maybe for others it can take like a few weeks. I don't know. Maybe they're really, really good. And I think the key to success is to be very happy, even if you lose, and even if you win, you have to keep it the same. You can't put yourself down because you lost. Just go back and take a step back, see what were the mistakes, and you have to understand that sometimes the markets that just don't work in your favor, and that's it. And
I couldn't agree more with you.
Yeah. And that's it. I don't know what else to say. That's my advice. I mean, protection of capital, that's my first. I mean, I've had friends now who try to trade the oil.
Yes.
And I said, like, okay, you know, you put your. They went short, and of course now they've blown their accounts. It's very important to know what you do.
Absolutely. If you don't know what you're doing, you'll never have a direction. You'll end up blowing your accounts and losing yourself as a person as well. Okay, well, to be honest, Andrei, congratulations for your success up until now, and I really hope you continue being successful. I look forward to doing a review or another session like this when you reach your next target of $160,000 when you make that next 10%. Okay, and we're happy to have you on board with us. We're looking for that long-term relationship, which is going very well. And is there anything else that you'd like to say to add to what you've already said, or are we all good to conclude this?
I think I'm good. It was nice talking to you. Thank you so much for the call. It reminded me how I started. Sometimes you tend.
It's always good to remember the beginning. Sometimes, isn't it?
Sometimes you tend to forget, like, where was your beginning, and now when I look back, it's like, oh wow, man, that's a lot of hard work. But sometimes I don't appreciate it. Maybe I should appreciate more. Maybe.
No, of course, always appreciate where you were and now where you are, because of the road of success you've had. So all I can say is I do look forward to speaking with you again in the near future. I wish you all the best for now. Keep up the good work and all the best, and stay safe. Bye-bye for now. Take care. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.